We are very excited. My dearest friend, Dr. Carmen Harra, are very excited and honored to share this journey of Beyond the Veil. And I just got to say something before I set the stage, that whenever we tap into that field of energy that connects all of creation, whenever we go beyond the veil, anything can happen and everything can happen. And we are experiencing that from the technological realm. But I am so grateful for the grace of angels. One of them is David Kaplan, Manuel, for showing up for us so that we can bridge this gap. So my name is Dr. Darren Weissman. I'm really excited to share this time with you. Welcome to Beyond the Veil. Those of you that are in the Facebook world, thank you for showing up. Our purpose here is to acknowledge the deeper truths, that there is way more going on than meets the eye, right? There's way more. And how you and I, how we experience reality, how we perceive ourselves, how we see the world and the universe that we are all a part of is a journey of consciousness. And Carmen and I are here to unpack the hidden story of the human condition. We are here to discover deeper meaning and deeper purpose in the patterns of life. And there are patterns in life. What if the symptoms of your body, the dis-ease, what if the stress and the struggles in your life were a feedback system? What if they were a doorway that you could actually open, that you could unlock and discover, a signal to awakening, living in the present moment? No one can take responsibility for ourselves. This is something that we all must learn, is our journey. It's our personal journey. But as we move through the struggles, as we learn to see struggles in ourselves, in the world that we're all a part of right now, we discover that there's a remembering. There's something that's comfortable. We can actually, like Carmen and I are laughing at ourselves, because if you could have seen what was going on here prior to coming on, you guys would be cracking up. So we're excited, like a seed growing through the darkness, to discover the light. We are really excited to go beyond the veil with you. So thank you for joining us. I want to give you a lay of the land as far as what this is going to be like. Stay with us to the end. There's going to be some really exciting things that we're going to be talking about. If you've got other things that are turned on, like your phone and different things like that, or browsers, turn them off. Let's get the most out of this. There's going to be healing that happens here. There's going to be deep process that goes on here. And we're going to be taking questions and guiding people through a process. And once again, just thank you so much. So Carmen, my beautiful friend, thank you for your heart.
I love you, Darren, and thank you so much for doing this, because it's all about opening the mind to people, to an infinite world of possibilities that goes beyond the limitation of consciousness, like you said. And you're such a light in the world. You want to heal the world, especially in a world where needs healing more than ever, because this time in history is probably one of the worst when it comes to what's happened to us collectively, the fear, the trauma, the confusion, the misinformation, all this sort of theory behind this disease, that majority of them are false. There's not enough knowledge about what's happening, and that's why we're so scared. And there's nothing worse than fear, as you know very well. Fear is way worse than a virus. So with people like you trying to open up what's beyond the veil of this situation, and what happens to us collectively, and where are we going from here, we can raise consciousness. We can become more in tune. In order to heal a disease, you embrace a disease. You know the disease. To fight your enemy, you become your enemy. So and that's exactly what we're going through right now. And what we acknowledge through what's happening in the world is actually the fact that we are one in this process. We're in the same boat all together, and we should not be disconnected anymore. And we should finally, wake up to the fact that we need to connect again. We need to help each other, and we need healing, because without our health, nothing matters. All the money in the world, the fame has no value if you lose your health. And you lose your health many times through a disconnect, because the word disease means a disconnect in the field of energy. And that's exactly what is happening to all of us right now. We're going through a disconnect. So the only way to heal is reconnected. And that one of the pillars of health is actually bringing knowledge. And that's what you're doing. The 7 pillars of health that I talk many times, it starts with the number 1 pillar, which says, educate yourself, bring the knowledge in your life, and then you'll be able to create the healing process, even on your own, because there's so much information over there about how to tap into the field of energy. And what's beyond the veil is the energy field. That's exactly what's beyond the veil. You tap into that field of energy, and it's so magic and so powerful. That's when you become unstoppable. That's when you become a true force of nature. That's when you conquer the world in so many ways. It's so magic and beautiful. And we talk about magician and the spirit world for thousands and thousands of years. If you go to the era of Greece, to the ancient Romans, to the ancient Greeks, and they all talk about magic, which comes from the word magnus, which means to be able to do. So we're capable of extraordinary things. Reality is we don't know how, so what we are learning, listening to this, we're learning how to do it, which are the tools that we can employ, to go to all those infinite dimensions. And one of the ability of the brain is bridging consciousness with subconsciousness, bridging 2 hemispheres of the brain, the left to the right, through this, what is called the sixth sense. So you go beyond cognitive, which is sensory, a world that you taste, you smell, you see, you hear, into a world that is extraordinary, that is your potential, but it also integrates your wounds, your trauma, your suffering, your pain, your negative emotion, your inability to see beyond the veil. So it's all about that. So what I found fascinating is that we are trying to raise perception. The world that you see, it can be seen different from an individual to another, because it's all a perception, the way you perceive the world. If you perceive the world in the correct way, then you definitely, as I said, you're unstoppable. And the more you go deep, the more powerful you become. The more you search, the more you find more resources. The more you bring knowledge, the more you expand in your possibilities. And then those negative emotion like fear, anger, jealousy that are blocking you in the field of energy, they just go away, naturally go away. They don't exist in you anymore. You become what you are, Darren, pure consciousness, pure love, pure authenticity, pure desire, to help the human race and everybody coming into your life. I was so moved by your extraordinary soul that always jumps unconditionally to do something good for every human being. So I am grateful to you, Darren, for everything that you are and everything that you teach and everything that you do for all of us.
Well, we are in a mutual admiration society right here, my love. And you are a force of nature. And I love that knowledge. Knowledge is a pillar, and knowledge is power, and knowledge about ourselves is self-empowerment. And what there's, you inspire me to no end, but to look at you as a person who's chosen to show up in the world as a celebrity, as a person who, sings, dances, inspires, activates the arts, a person who's experienced death and has come back and then discovered through that experience a whole new realm and dimension of awareness, a person who's decided to understand and unpack the psyche in the mind as a therapist, a person who's just recently studied at Cornell to understand the chemistry of the body.
Right.
You know, so as we like, I love it because I love talking to you, because every time I talk with you, I learn something new. And so, yeah, we're bridging the gap between the conscious and subconscious. Yes, we're opening up this new level of consciousness. But as you talk about healing, and boy, oh boy,
right.
You know, I work with people every day, and I have for the past 30 years. People are really looking for the how to now. I love that you said that. People are looking like, I want to know more than this is possible, Carmen and Darren. I want to have the app that I can press that activates my mind to acceptance, to compassion, to love, to gratitude.
But we have the app. We have the app, Darren. The app is there. You know what I mean? We just have to activate it.
So let me ask you a question.
We say we have it, we just have to press a button, and it's that easy. It's within ourselves.
So let me ask you a question then, because I understand, because I live it. It doesn't mean that I don't have my own angst or struggles in life. That's part of life. But why is it that you feel, especially today, mentally, physically, individually, collectively in the world, why are so many people struggling when it comes to this journey of healing?
Because they create their own limitation without being aware, you know?
Go deep into that.
Yeah, deep into that. So what does it mean? You know, a person who's dominated by a trauma, who's dominated by anxiety, who's dominated by the fear of succeeding, of accomplishing, of being happy, and not understanding the notion, not knowing the difference, and not digging deep into the problems that he or she carry. You know, you carry those elements of the past. They never leave you. They stay with you. You know, if you think, oh, I've been to a trauma, but I'm done and it's over, that's not true. It stays. It's an imprint that goes at the cellular level. So that's why you need to work, and you need a lot of patience. And another pillar of health is having the patience to dig deeper into what stops you from moving forward, what stops you to heal, what stops you from progressing, you know, in your life. And many of people come to me and say, well, I'm still in the same boat for 20 years. I can't change my job. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I'm miserable in my own life. You know, what is going on? What is going on is within you. So if you want to go deeper, go search deep what the problem was originated. Go to the root of the problem and accept that, as I said, embrace that problem and try to move away from, you know, and create a new reality. Only you can do it. Don't expect that an outside force will do it, or the outside circumstances will be different, because they just projecting or what comes from the inside out. What comes to you, as we know very well, is what you create inside. And if it's inside you, you only see a wall and a limitation, then you can never move forward. You will stay forever in that plateau, and there's no evolution. And one of the universal law of the divine is evolution. We are here to move, and one of a pillar of health is moving. You say, I'm dancing, I'm singing, creativity, movement. That's what makes us heal. That's what makes us feel better. That's what makes us, raise not only the good feel hormone and, not only, physically helping the body, the adrenals, the endocrinological system, everything gets balanced, when you do that. And you drop your blood pressure, by the way, when you exercise. So talking about the benefits of exercise, but by moving, you allow your body, to shift the perception, to raise the energy. And becoming creative is another pillar of health. So everybody listening, go ahead and be creative. You say, well, I am not a creative person. That's not true. We all have creativity within ourselves. It doesn't have to be that you need to be a performer on stage. You be creative in so many other ways, Your mind has a lot of abilities, one of the ability of the mind is being creative, having memory, having knowledge, having intelligence, and having intuition. And people are afraid of this extraordinary gift, by the way. People are scared of intuition. They think this is something weird, it's something that is forbidden. When actually, like even Einstein said, that's the gift of the divine. So, because when I said, when you bridge the two parts of the brain, then you open up beyond the sensory, the fifth sense, you go into the sixth sense, the seventh sense, and all the other levels of the sensory that transcend the cognition of the mind. So that's so fascinating about our abilities that is in a way forgotten, or in a way totally misunderstood, you know?
Yeah, well, I appreciate the essence that, you know, knowledge is one thing, but it's not enough. It's not enough. What is necessary is that when we gain knowledge, we put it into action. And that aspect of creative expression, you know, it seems like water is water, but if you look at a snowflake, it's still water. Every snowflake is different. As you talk about the imprints that live in our minds of trauma, of loss, of shock, patterns of emotions that are in motion for generations and lifetimes that affect our health, that affect our well-being. You know, these imprints, these fingerprints are truly a door. They're truly a feedback. They're a mechanism for awakening, as you said so beautifully, Carmen. I love how you speak. They awaken evolution from revolution to evolution. But, and it's a but, right? It's a but. It's a, you know, it seems like it's a pain in the ass, because it's like, oh my God, how these imprints show up. It's not like rubbing you softly on the back. Here, honey, wake up. You're jumping into the next greatest version of yourself. Just wake up. Let me get you a cup of tea, right? Let me rub your shoulders. No, how it wakes us up is you were betrayed. You didn't, all of a sudden, a loss. All of a sudden, you know, you feel like the rug was pulled underneath, you know, from underneath you. Life happens.
Or a disease, Darren. You know, what we experience now collectively is a virus. That's a disease. You know, this is a biological war. We fighting, you know, something that is biology, and we question why did this. We're not so prepared. Humanity was not ready for something like this. But just to complement what you're saying, is that this is given to us. This is given to us for that awakening. You know, when you build a miracle through the suffering, you know, and we suffer to create the miracle of a better world that's ahead of us. You know, because if you think of the ancient teaching, we're ending the Kali Yuga, the 6,000 years in the year of the sun, according to the ancient. I always look at the ancient teaching. There's so much philosophy and wisdom that our ancestors, they knew so much about this world, or the universe was differently understood in different times. But we lost some of that, you know, because I think of the technological world. So we close that door to the 6,000 years, and we open in 2033, according to all the calculation, the golden yuga. So the next 6,000 years are supposed to be beautiful, are supposed to be golden, are supposed to be without war, without. Can we imagine that? I mean, if we, all of us listening, we can close our eyes and imagine a world that has no war, no hate towards each other, in which everybody's in peace. You know, we all jump and help each other. We live 1,000 years, you know?
You know what? And I tell you, Carmen, I know knowledge. I know, and I've seen it. I know that this is the luckiest time to be alive. I know that we are on the precipice, the edge of a humanity, of a human consciousness awakening, where I know that we're going to be alive in the shift of consciousness. And in this process, as you know, as you say, like a world of peace, where there's no war, where there's no fighting, where there's, you know, where people, you know, live amongst peace. for that to happen, we have to have the ability to accept. Just period. Right. Just start there. We have to accept. So where are we right now? Right now, and I want to go back about 8 minutes and just rehash what you said. Mm-hmm. There's this chemical warfare. There's this denial. It's insane. Right. It's insane that just the concept of the body is designed to heal itself. True, every cell in the body is designed to heal, regenerate, and be whole. I've witnessed so many miracles, Carmen. Mm-hmm. I want to finish this thought here. And so it's like, I've helped so many people that have been told cardiovascular, immune, oncogenic, and, all digestive, hormonal, neurological, whatever it might be, unknown cause, heavy metal, whatever it might be. I've seen people go through transformations, biological, psychological, spiritual healing. It happens. And yet here we live in a world where when it comes to having a dialogue and communicating, going beyond the veil of what we perceive, it's like, oh, okay, you can't talk about that. And I want to say something. I'm going to say what I'm not, and then I'm going to say what I am. I'm not against anything that anyone does, because science is rich and beautiful and amazing. Yet there's an intelligence that goes beyond what science is even capable of perceiving or measuring. And for us as human beings to evolve into a world where there's really peace, the number one aspect of freedoms is the freedom of our own sovereignty, of our own sovereignty, of what it means to be. But we need to first learn, how do we accept ourselves? I've got anger, I've got fear, I've got overwhelm, I did this, blame, shame, regret, I'm not worthy, all these things. We have to begin with acceptance. And from acceptance, we can discover compassion for ourselves, forgiveness for ourselves and others. And then from there, the energy of gratitude begins to emerge. We realize that what we've gone through and what we're going through is happening for a reason. It's not random. There's a purpose, even though right now it looks like a secret code. Right now it looks like this is the worst of times. No, that's a gift in strange wrapping paper. So I would love to talk to you about unlocking that door so that what's beyond the veil is not only available, that it becomes self-evident for walking the path in this world of fear and struggle that we're in right now. So, one of the things that, I love that you have laser-like mediumship. You've got laser-like mediumship. And that is and it just is what it is. It's natural. It's like putting on your lipstick. Yeah. You are able to perceive what many, based upon being locked in their senses, aren't able to perceive. As a result,
I'm always questioning, where is that coming from? You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm always questioning. Yesterday I was driving and a woman calls me and I start telling her how her mother died and telling her the house that she left, the name of the mother living in another country, people I've never met. And when I hang up, I said, for years and years, I'm doing this just like that, out of the blue, being in a store or being in a car. And that information is so powerful, is so accurate, and opens the door in that person's mind, And I said, where is this ability that we as humans, because not me, because I know people like this, that exists naturally in us, but we're afraid to access. Talking about the door that is locked, Because you said, how can we open the door that is locked? By acknowledging that the door is locked and go beyond the narrow imprints, the narrow belief system. You can never go beyond your belief, by the way. You have to break beliefs, literally breaks beliefs, and you say, wait a minute, that door is locked in me. So that's one of the reasons I cannot see beyond the veil, because I closed it. And not anyone else did it to me. I did it to myself,
Yeah. And that's interesting, because not consciously, no one chooses to suffer consciously. The addict as much as the addict is like, stop drinking, stop doing drugs, stop, getting lost in pornography or in social media or work or whatever the addiction is. Everyone's wired to addiction. The addiction's never a choice, even though it seems from outward perspective, just change. It's an interesting thing what evokes.
But if the world is wired in addiction for a very long time, and in the wrong addiction, when I said addiction, I'm not only talking about drugs or, what I mean, not only talking alcohol or gambling or, pornography. I'm talking about an addiction to the wrong belief about the way the world should be, addiction to money, addiction to power, addiction to this political system, that's completely wrong, and that stops humanity from progressing, because now we rely on the government to solve our problem. And obviously we can see that it's not really working the way we want. No, we're not blaming the government. We just see into the limitation of what we created, because hundreds of years ago, we didn't have the paper money. We didn't have presidents. We didn't have, so we had different systems, and it's about time to create a system that is better, because through centuries, humanity has been evolved, talking about the law of evolution. We have been evolving, at the level of the consciousness, at the level of healing ourselves, at the awakening. We woke up lately to spirituality collectively. So that's evolution. It's not only that we created a virtual world, but we also created a spiritual world around us, which it means progress. But how can we, as you said, go collectively beyond the veil and restore the world we are living in and open the door to that beautiful world that is just in front of us? We just have to open the door.
Yeah. And, the thing about it is going beyond the veil collectively is something that we must do individually.
Right.
And as you've spoken about, it's like the government, which is like outside of ourselves, or anything outside of ourselves to soothe or, help or save. The cavalry is not coming. With the journey of beyond the veil is about going inward and being able to embrace our own emotional template and signature and consciousness.
Right.
What it means to stay present. And there's a lot of things in our personal lives, in our families, in our business, with money. There's so many things that trigger us, right? There's so many things that cause us to react.
Right.
And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I'm over. This was funny because there's a lot of bigger, intense things that happen, but it was funny prior to coming on here. And I thought it was really appropriate that it was like, oh my God, what a struggle. We just want to get on here, do this, make it easy. And it was like a comedy act. It was like, oh my God, we're like, let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it later today. Like, oh no, like whatever. But things don't line up. And that's just a journey of consciousness that we're on. I would love, because I get so inspired when you and I tag team together, when I use the Lifeline technique and you use, all of your tools of who you are.
That. Yes.
I would
what I love about all your techniques, they have the most powerful element of all, which is another pillar of health, gratitude. If people will realize how significant it is to say a prayer of gratitude 3 times a day, they will not get sick. Disease that is a disconnect happens because you don't know how to be grateful for what you have, from where you are, from the goodness within you and outside, and from everything that the divine world is giving you. So the lack of gratitude equals a sickness, in a lot of people. And if you want to get better and heal, just be grateful. The healing will happen automatically. That's my understanding of gratitude and healing.
And I agree with you. And I'll let you know, like, from my perspective, there are parts of ourselves. And I want to say that again, there are parts of ourselves that don't have the ability to be grateful. And those parts are driven by what I've discovered as core limiting beliefs. And,
Right.
and those beliefs, as you say, if you believe it, that's what you're going to experience. So what keeps us stuck and struggling and suffering in our own lives, in the world that we're a part of, this virus of fear and low self-esteem, is a belief that is not conscious. And I have deep compassion for myself because I've changed so much as a result of my own journey. I've changed so much.
You did.
You know,
but you had to go through everything you had to go through. Everything. And you're at the beginning of a completely new phase in your life. It's so beautiful the way I see it, and so rewarding, and you're so at peace with this, and you're so welcome this new phase in your life that is pretty remarkable. But I want to say something to everybody listening. The fact that we are saying all the time, I believe it when I see it. We should say, not I believe it when I see it. I believe and I'll see it. So put your belief first in order to see the result that you expect, the transformation that you're looking for. Believe in that first. Believe in that, in your own potential. And then you're going to see, if you see, well, I only believe if I'll see that coming to me. That will never happen that way, So that's the wrong saying,
Begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
And who you are before you were incarnated and who you'll be after you take your last breath will be that same divine expression. But in the meantime, here we are on planet Earth.
Yes.
Here we are on this planet where
here we are together, what I mean, experiencing the same stuff in that, but seeing them with a different perception. Life is not what happens, it's how you respond to life, and people respond to life differently. Well, people look at whatever is happening in the world from a totally different perspective from an individual to another. But the moment where we'll have a collective perspective, then we can change the collective consciousness. Then the world will suffer that sudden opening of a brightness of light and healing, a collective healing, because the world needs healing. This world needs healing, not of COVID and all other diseases. The healing through centuries of karma that we carry, the pain and suffering and trauma that humanity collectively has the imprint of, that's the kind of a healing I'm talking about.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm excited to help as many people as we can here. And so those of you that are on Zoom right now, if you would like to ask a question, go through a process, shift the pattern that is affecting the health of your body, that's affecting you in your life, in how you're able or not able to show up right now, just raise your hand and bring it on, and we're going to bring you through a really beautiful process. Carmen, it is really so humbling to be in your presence and to share this journey. Your wisdom is just so wide, it's so far, it's so beautiful, and the world needs what you're saying. And I just appreciate how you choose to show up and the light that you choose to be. Life isn't easy. We lose people that we love, different things that we experience. It's so profound. But as a result of you moving through that fire, you are just such a goddess warrior. And I'm just so grateful. Look at you, Lux. Welcome. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, guys. Hi.
Hey.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi. I love you guys.
Oh,
we love you back.
Love you back big time. So how can we help you?
Yeah, so I've been struggling with a lot of numbness and stomach issues and just feeling very depressive and foggy. So I just moved to LA, and I feel like I'm here for a spiritual purpose, to heal all this kind of blockage in my heart and not being able to connect to other people. But I just I'm being just stuck in my own bed almost. I don't want to leave my bed, and I just want to sit and meditate all day. But I also have college to go to. So I can't do that.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, have you ever experienced something very sort of traumatic? Something happened to you when you were younger that caused this sort of a reoccurring depression?
I think I was always kind of, from a young age, I've been kind of, I felt kind of depressed from.
Right.
Like
But you don't have actually a clinical depression. You haven't been diagnosed with clinical depression because there are natural stuff, I've studied lately, which is the natural stuff to handle depression. And usually depression is a result of a problem with the chemistry of some neurotransmitters in the brain, those hormones in the brain that get out of balance. And if your GABA or dopamine or serotonin, if there's a problem there, which you can do actually a neurotransmitter test, which will show us whether you really have a serious problem that we can address. And there's natural stuff that you can trade. There's something called Travacor, or you can take L-theanine, or you can take GABA. That will calm you down and the depression goes away. Ashwagandha, it's a plant. Have you heard of ashwagandha?
Yeah.
Ashwagandha is really good. Now, I also suspect that you might have something going on with your thyroid. When was the last time you checked on your thyroid?
I checked it like a few months ago and they said it's fine.
Okay, well, don't be fooled by the T3 and T4 working well, because if those work, it still doesn't mean everything is okay. The thyroid needs a lot of iode, selenium. So I will also recommend thyroid support in your case, because I do believe that something there can help you naturally to regulate all the glandular system. I think you snap out of this depression, just simply ashwagandha, There is another one that is called Bacopa. Very good. You can write down my phone and send me a text, and I'll send you everything that I think you should take naturally, no side effects, but gets you out of this state of feeling down, raises. Now, if you go on medication for depression, they give you serotonin receptor. So we don't want to put you on no medication, but we want to give you something that will be equal of serotonin receptors in the natural way without no side effects and no dependency. So I want you to feel alive, feel vibrant, and be able to go out and be able to communicate. And I think you're doing very well in school. I think you're very bright, you're beautiful, you have an amazing heart. And all of this, the situation that you experience can be easily healed, very easily, in the most natural way. But I do believe you have to take some stuff that I will gladly send to you in a text. So if you want to write down my number, just send me a text, 917, area code, I have your number, 917-771-6035. And I will text you everything I think you need to do. And you need to take, very inexpensive, you find them everywhere. And just start taking ashwagandha late at night and thyroid support, because that supports also your immune system, keeps your thyroid at the best function, and the adrenal gland also. So that is going to make you feel more alive, more energized. Do you take vitamin B12, by the way?
I take a mixture of like D, B.
Okay. There is a product I'm going to send you that is B12 under the tongue. And his most efficient than any other B12 that you take on a regular basis as a pill, because immediately it gives you energy. So 30 minutes later, you feel so energized and ready to go and dance. And then I recommend some movement. Do you go to any classes?
Yeah, I think yoga and stuff like that.
Go to Zumba classes. Those are great. Have you tried the Zumba classes?
You're such a great dancer, Carmen. I love that. I love that. I would love to share something with Lux. I would love to bridge with the beyond the veil chemistry, wisdom, and brilliance of Dr. Carmen. And, I want to just give you a perspective of this stuckness that you're experiencing, this numbness, this depression, this like here you are and you moved to LA and you're blocked. And I'm just going to ask you a question that we call the truth question so that you can see beyond the veil that you're in right now. Would you, if given the opportunity, ever choose to create your life where you were stuck in depression, stuck in your bed, numbness, stomach pain, would you choose to create your life this way?
if I was to help myself.
You ever, on your birthday, if you're going to blow out candles, would you ever make a wish to have numbness, depression, stuck in your bed? Would you ever choose to put a vision board with images and words? Would you choose to feel the way you're feeling?
No.
The answer is
by the way, Darren, I don't want to, the depression and is associated, and the stomach pain is associated with a low, I don't know how I detect this, but intuitively I feel like the adrenaline are a little bit sluggish, which is very typical, and they always lead to stomach pain and numbness. So that's why I want her to take thyroid support, adrenal support, because that's, and B12, because that's going to make her energized, feel better again, and the stomach pain will go away. Unless there's something else in the stomach, which I don't really think so. But do you take probiotics for that? Probiotics for your stomach?
Yeah, I also feel that intuitively the stomach is like where I hold all my emotions, and I have a lot of like sadness that I hold there.
Well, all these emotions affect the endocrine system. So remember that. So that this thyroid gland, you know, the pineal pituitary gland, the adrenal gland, they cause all the trouble with the emotions. That makes you down, depressed, low energy, stomach pain, numbness, and all of that. So if we regulate a little bit that naturally, the natural regulating, you're going to be perfectly fine.
You are perfectly fine. That is such brilliant information. And, you know, just to add to it, because the body is the reflection of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Everything going on in your body, from the cellular function to the organs, glands, and systems, is always a reflection of your mind. And how much of your mind is conscious and how much is subconscious?
99%, right?
Yeah, 90 to 98% is subconscious. And you have a subconscious reactive pattern that is influencing two things within you. One is your throat chakra. The other is your solar plexus. So your gut, your third chakra, and your throat chakra, your fifth chakra. And this affects your self-esteem, and this affects how you communicate and how you create healthy boundaries. In Chinese medicine, just bridging with the Ayurvedic component of the chakras, in Chinese medicine, this is affecting your water element.
Okay.
Right. So your water element, which is your renal glands, your renal is your kidneys, your water element. And if you talk about the adrenals are called suprarenal. They are part of that kidney function. Okay. Right. So these are all tied in.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. It's a portal.
Yeah,
it's a doorway to the next greatest version of Lux.
Right.
It's beyond the veil. But right now it's invisible because it's subconscious Lux.
Right.
And when you get triggered, you can't help it. So have compassion and have curiosity. You get triggered and you automatically see yourself through a lens of isolated, dark pain, and blame.
Right.
And you feel this. And then when you feel it, guess what you do? You're attracting, not consciously, subconsciously, people and circumstances that match low self-esteem, unable to communicate, blame, isolated, dark pain, affecting how you flow. What does that look like? Stuck in bed. What does that look like? Depression. What does that feel like? Numbness, stomach. Where did this come from? 12 years of age. How do I know? I'm using kinesiology here. I'm using the lifeline technique here. I'm not going to explain that right now, but I want to just explain to you what's going on so that you can begin to change immediately and tap into the vibrational frequency. When you were 12 years of age, you were in an environment that was emotionally reactive. And just go there. Just go there to 12-year-old Lux. At 12, you were in an environment where people thought and felt and spoke to themselves and each other with blame, isolated, dark pain. At 12, you didn't have the ability to go, I am a divine light of pure love. I'm feeling joyful. I'm safe. I'm protected. I'm worthy. I'm just at 12. You didn't have that beautiful one like you do now. You do now. Your environment couldn't hold you, guide you, lead you, mother you, father you, teach you. Like Carmen and I couldn't hold the space for you. And guess what? The 12-year-old is depressed in your life today. The 12-year-old is staying in bed today. The 12-year-old is showing up in your thyroid. And for the first time right now, go ahead and say it. I'm now choosing to feel worthy of self-love.
To feel worthy of self-love.
Go like this. This means I love you. And go like this. Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Go ahead and say it. I'm now worthy.
I am now worthy.
And deserving.
And deserving.
Of feeling self-love.
Of feeling self-love.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
And protected.
And protected.
To own my power.
To own my power.
And create healthy relationships.
And create healthy relationships.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Take a deep breath. Let it go. You just shifted the 12-year young vibration. Welcome to the present moment. Welcome to the light named Lux. Infinite love and gratitude. Now check this out. Send Dr. Carmen a text. She'll give you that information. It's going to help you so much, but you just shifted the subconscious pattern. There's deeper layers that I would like to take you, but just for the sake, I wanted to bridge the gap of what was beyond the veil of what's been showing up since you moved to LA.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Cool.
So beautiful. Your face light up. You know,
yeah.
your eyes are lighter. Your energy is brighter. The transformation is incredible.
Change the mind, change the mind, change the body. Change the mind, open up the perception. And so it's in motion right now, Lux. It's in motion, and you did so awesome. Great job.
Thank you,
Infinite
guys.
love and gratitude.
Infinite love for you guys.
All right, thank you. So Deborah has also raised her hand. So we're going to bring Deborah on and go further. Thank Dr. Carmen, you're so amazing. I mean, seriously, I love dancing with you, and you're a good dancer. You do Zumba all the time. You do Zumba, so I like dance with you. So Deborah's here. I'm excited to connect with Deborah and help our friend Deborah right now.
I'm not sure how to turn my camera on.
Is there like a picture, an icon of the camera there?
Share screen. Oh, start video. First of all, I look like crap today. So.
You do not. You're gorgeous.
No.
Great to see you.
Never say that.
Just got out of bed and went and ran errands. So.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Tell me, gorgeous one. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I moved from my home to North Carolina in 2016. I lost my only brother. In 2017, I lost my best friend. In 2020, my mom in 20, and now my dad just passed away in July. And him and I had sold our houses and moved in together so I could care for him, but he was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia and it did not want to go to a home. And it was very, my dad was my hero my whole life, and it was very combative. And now that, and I think, we bought the house in August and he passed away in the following July. If I had known I only had 9 more months with him, would I have treated him differently? So I'm walking around with a lot of guilt, even though I know I did everything I could to help him, because there were just so many mean things he was, but I know it's the disease and he did mean the things he said, but I don't feel like I got the closure I needed to get with him. So, and I know I did the best I could, and he doesn't take any of that stuff with him when he passed. But I'm left here now with this ginormous house I bought us, and I'm just I've been taking care of my family members my whole life, and now they're all gone. So my whole support system is gone. So I don't know, I just have good days, I have bad days, and I just feel like if I had to do it over again, I would have done it different and maybe understood more about the disease. But I'm not a doctor, and I kept him home and got help to come in and help me with him so that I wasn't the bad guy. When they took his license and everything was my fault. And one of the things he said to me was if he could change places with me, he would. And I said, so you'd take 25 years of my life away, so you got to live longer. And he said he'd do it in a minute. And I have, I'm playing all the negative things over, and I know that's not what he would have wanted, but.
Deborah, can I say something? Okay, so your father's behind you, just behind you. And he says, don't move from this house. Just get rid of the things that you don't need and make it beautiful. You're not going to be alone in this house in the near future. It will take probably 5 to 6 months, but your life will change. No reason to feel guilty. She said, he doesn't really remember what he said. He said, I didn't realize, I lost memory. I was not myself. And so no reason to be guilty because you did everything you could for me. And he also said that he was the one triggering some bad episodes through the way he expressed himself, but he was not aware. So it was the lack of awareness. I do believe it was the disease that took over him. So he said this was his time to go. He shows me a watch. What's the meaning of the watch? And he shows me 6 o'clock, something like that. If he rings any bell and the number 12, he shows me numbers, he shows me a watch, and he shows me a uniform. What is this uniform? Anybody has been in the army in the uniform from the family? Anybody?
His brother.
Okay, so then it means he's with the brother because he's with somebody in a uniform. He's not alone. He said they found each other and they said they're going to have a lot of fun. He said, there's a beautiful world out there. He said, don't cry for me because I'm very happy where I am. I didn't want to live like that anymore. I didn't want to be a burden for you anymore. So he's excited to be where he is because he's free. He said, you've always been there for him. You've always been his favorite person on earth. He loved you dearly. He said, don't doubt that. But the guilt and the suffering, there's no room for this. He wants you. He says, I'm here. He says, talk to me. Sometime I want you to put a glass of water on the table for me. He says, sometime I'd love to drink water. He didn't die for a long time. So spirits usually take them a while. They still come in the physical world and try to do the things they used to do. Do you have a backyard, a garden to this house in the back of the house?
Yes.
Yeah, he said he goes there a lot. He says sometimes he even comes at night and makes a noise. He said, if you hear noises, it's me, so that you know it's me. He's smiling. Very good looking man. Do you agree with me?
Mm-hmm.
He looks very charming, very handsome man. He looks young again. He said, you should see me now. He said, I look when you are like a child. He said, that's the way I look now. He said, I choose to be young. I'll stay young. He said, by your life, you will not be alone. You will remember my word. She says me somebody with W name, somebody with William Walter, very common name. He's referring to somebody who might even coming into your life. Are you single right now, alone?
No.
Okay. So who's this person coming into your life?
I don't know anybody with a W. I have my person I'm with is named Don.
No, not the person you are with. There's somebody coming into your life. He probably has come to help you with something. He's probably come as a work partner, or I'm not saying necessarily romantic, but he's acknowledging somebody. And he says to take better care of your health. How do you feel lately?
I'm devastated.
Okay. So, but physically, how do you feel?
Not good. I had a disc slip in my back, which cut off the flow of my intestines, and then I had an intestinal blockage and was in the hospital for 5 days. So I'm dealing with some, but I think, even the doctor said he thinks it's a fluke thing and that all my stress is just hitting all my.
It's all the pain and the stress and the suffering that's causing physical problems. So what we don't want those physical problems. We want you to get better. Any pain that you're experiencing?
Well, one of the dogs got out and I was chasing it and I tore my PCL and my meniscus on my other knee.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
We have alligators, so I was trying to catch them before they got them. I mean, if an alligator had got one of the dogs, I think I would just have to close the door and move on.
Oh my Lord, Deborah. You know,
My boss said to me, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck.
You know why you laughing? So from crying, you're at least you're able to smile. So some healing, I don't know if Dr. Darren agrees with me. I feel the healing taking place. Anytime you connect with somebody who's gone and you hear from them and they telling you they're good, it heals your soul.
I've just lost so many people in a short time. And I just wish my brother was my biggest cheerleader and my best friend. We traveled all over the world together at different times. When we went through divorces, we were roommates. So he was my first call whenever I had a decision to make. And losing him and then my best friend and then my mom and my dad, it's like they were my go-to people my whole life. So I feel I just miss them. And I just I try to talk to them, and I used to journal all the time, but I'm just stuck.
Continue the journaling, continue to talk to them, continue to do things for them like you used to do, and continue to do that, because you will benefit from this. You're still in a healing phase, but you will get so much better. But I'm also a little bit concerned of your circulation. I don't know how is your blood pressure, how is
my blood pressure. I never had problems before I brought my dad to live with me.
Okay.
And then I've had the high blood pressure problems just because, it was such confrontation all the time. And I don't, we never fought. That was one thing we never did.
What about your A1C level, the glucose level in your blood?
I think I'm fine that way.
Okay. So those are the things that I want you to check. Because other than that, overall, you're okay. You're good health-wise. Yeah.
So Carmen, I'd love to give another perspective that is really, you're going to start to notice, which already happened while talking to Carmen, that your ability to move through this grief, which all of us have to face throughout life. Everyone goes through the journey of losing loved ones throughout the process. We all do. It's a powerful part of being human. What's making it most challenging for you, Deborah, is that there's a part of you who's in a state of resistance at your crown chakra. And it's keeping you from the connection of your highest self and your remembering of who you are, who your dad was, who your brother was, who we all are, which is spirits of pure love. It's affecting your metal element. And your metal element is about strength and stability. It's about protection, like a sword or a shield. The energy that's revolving in a cycle in your crown chakra is the energy of panic, fear of intimacy, and grief. And when this part of you gets triggered, all you're capable of perceiving is panic, fear of intimacy, and grief, separation, victimization. And this is not who you are at all. This is a part of you, like Carmen was saying way earlier on, this is an imprint. This is an imprint from when you were 7 years of age. Now, at 7, you experienced a trauma. And that trauma memory has not been fully processed yet. And that trauma memory of panic, fear of intimacy, grief, victimization, when that part gets triggered, all you're able to see is as if you were 7. And that affects you biologically. It affects you behaviorally. It affects how you understand things and process. And I want to ask you a question. As you connect to the 7-year-old, what does that 7-year-old inside of you, what does your inner child need? What is the unmet need of that 7-year-old that's showing up as guilt with your dad now? That's a 7-year-old. What does that 7-year-old inside of you need?
Be safe.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead and say it. I am safe.
I am safe.
I am safe.
I am safe.
But like this, infinite love and gratitude.
Infinite love and gratitude.
I have a question for you. Are you open?
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
No, I'm going to go somewhere else. Are you open, ready, and willing to use your imagination?
Absolutely.
I want you to imagine that you believe that you're safe, that you believe it. And that because you believe it, guess what? You think unsafe thoughts, you feel unsafe feelings, you speak to yourself in a safe way, you move through life, life moves through you, no matter, people come and they go, life is what it is. Death is the illusion here. Imagine that you know that you're safe and now you belong to a life in a world of I'm safe. How does it feel to imagine? Just breathe it in. How does it, just go ahead and say it, I am safe.
I am safe.
How does it feel to imagine?
Calm.
Mm-hmm. And feel the calm feeling, because there's the medicine right there. There's the medicine right there. That calm feeling is your mind medicine. That calm feeling is your cells taking on a whole new level of your gorgeous heart. Go ahead and say it. I'm now choosing to feel calm.
I'm now choosing to feel calm.
And I keep forgetting.
And I keep forgetting.
That feeling calm.
That feeling calm.
Is my nature.
Is my nature.
Love and gratitude.
Love and gratitude.
I
do have to give a shout out to you guys because I went through the Life Mastery series right before my dad and I moved in together. And had I not gone through that, I wouldn't have come through this as well as, I mean, I would have been a lot worse off than I am now. I just have to, I just get stuck. I'm just get stuck again.
It's not you, it's a 7-year-old, babe. It's a 7-year-old. And own it, own it. I'm feeling calm.
I'm feeling calm.
Infinite love and gratitude.
Love and gratitude.
Own it, Deborah. I am calm.
I am calm.
I am safe.
I am safe.
This is my nature.
This is my nature.
Hit your crown chakra. Infinite love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude. Your dad is smiling so big. Infinite love and gratitude. Take a deep healing breath. Let it go.
I do want to share one thing before I'm done. When the last time he spoke to me, my friend Don had gone to get my nephew from the airport, and he was in the hospital bed, and he was pointing up, and he had the biggest smile on his face, and he kept pointing at me and pointing up, and that was the last time he ever spoke to me. So I know he transitioned to a better world. I miss having him to talk to. So Carmen, thank you for what you shared about him being safe and happy. That
he's so happy. He's so happy, but he's there. I have to resolve the mystery of the watch. If he left you a watch, do you have his watch?
He had a smart watch that I had given him.
Is that watch somewhere? Look and see if it's stuck on 6 o'clock. What is the 6 o'clock meaning for him?
That was when I got off work and he could have his cocktail.
Yeah. He shows me 6 o'clock.
That's
yeah.
humor.
Like, it's happy hour. I'm going to start without you.
Yeah. Well, Deborah, thank you for your bright light. Thank you for your courageous, strong heart. And I'm so grateful to have been able to share this with Carmen and supporting you again.
And don't cry, Deborah.
Don't
cry. We make the spirit suffer. They don't want us to cry. They
cry with gratitude. Cry with gratitude, right? So awesome.
Don't cry.
In love and gratitude. So Carmen, there's so many people that have more questions and different things like that, but we've really come to our end. And I am excited that we got to share this. I'm going to be on your radio show next Tuesday. I can't wait to do that.
Please listen to the show on Home Time this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be with Dr. Darren. We're going to talk about his projects. We're going to talk about all his seminars, all his work, his books, this lifeline technique that he created that is so extraordinary and so amazing. Do you have a book on this technique? Did you decide
No, I've got 4 books on the technique, but on November 13th, I am doing a free webinar called the Lifeline Technique.
Okay,
and
that's genius. That's genius. I still think you're going to do another book on this because I think you're still discovering something.
Not right now. I don't want to do another book right now. I've got way too many other things. I'm not going there. But one day I will. One day I will. I've got it. But that's my focus right now is in our world right now where so many people are struggling. I have such a passion for wanting to share real tools with you so that you can intentionally create shifts. And on November 13th, I am leading a a free 90-minute webinar called The Lifeline Technique, 3 steps to unlock the portal of your higher self.
That's free. Everybody should know what amazing is that. That's free.
Yeah.
Everybody listening, you know, I know all my people on Facebook. Make sure you write down this date.
Yeah, if you haven't signed up for this webinar, sign up for this webinar, and then we'll be able to send you information about the
how do people
event.
sign up for the webinar? How do people sign up?
Well, well, you know what? We can post it on your page, the link.
We want to post on all my pages the link. Yeah.
Oh, it's in the chat. It's in the chat right now. So those people that are in the on the Zoom, you can just click on that, reserve your spot.
But the people who are not on the Zoom, can they still get the link?
David posted it on your Facebook page. So it's there right now. Look for it. David posted it. And I just want to say thank you. I am such a huge fan. I love you. I love you. I love you, Carmen. You're so amazing. You help so many people, and you help me so much in my life. And I am blessed and a better person because I know you. So thank you.
No, you help me, and I'm a better person because of you. That's the truth. I'm a better person because of you. You are brilliant. You're a light to the world, and we're all grateful for you. We are grateful for you.
I love you, and love to each and every one of you that participated. Thank you for spending this time with Carmen and I. We love coming together, and we love being able to support you in every way. Click on the link for November 13th, and we will see you there on the other side, where we go into the Lifeline Technique on a really deep level. We're going to be unpacking 3 portals: the mind portal, the body portal, and the core limited belief portal. Carmen, I love you. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for your energy, your love, and light.
God bless you, Darren.
God bless you.
Darren, you're the best.
Shine on, beautiful one.